Hello, guys. Good evening. I hope you guys are good. Very, very good, I guess. I'm happy to see you guys. I'm happy to be with you guys once again. My name is EY, and I'll be taking you on a topic that says classifying biology, that is, classifying organisms. I'll be changing this channel soon, channel's name soon. Very, 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 very soon. What we call simplified biology. Please, if you are not yet on my Twitter channel, search for simplified biology. My you can search with my with my underscore with my username user ID simplified underscore biology. That's simplified underscore double underscore biology. Then you can also search for us on Twitter. Yes, simplified underscore biology, on Telegram at simplified underscore biology. YouTube, I'm going to change this channel Trailblazers Comedy to simplified biology. So please assist, check your DM, check the comment section, and please make sure you like and share, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you very, very, very much. Today we'll be going to through another topic that says classifying organisms. If you check through our previous charts, our previous topics that we've treated in this YouTube channel, you will understand. Yeah, please, I can see I'm not. I can see that. I don't know if you can see my screen. I'm not sure you can see my screen. Okay. Soon. Okay, okay. So checking the topics that says classifying biology. So we'll be taking the topic that says classifying organisms today. We are treating biology. So what is biology? It's just going to be a recap. It's going to be a recap of what we have done in the last classes. If you check below videos, you're going to see them. So now, biology is the study of life, and it is coined from two Greek words, which is bios and logos. Bios and logos. Bios in biology means life. Logos means study. So by the time you join these two words together, bios and logos, by the time you match them together, it means biology, and it stays study of life. And when we talk about life, we're talking about the living part and the non-living thing. So biology is the study of these two. So by the time we talk about the living thing, we're talking about plants, we're talking about animal. Can I hear you say wow? Plants? Yes, plants are living things. So during in our course of videos, then you will understand. If you check very well, it will give you something we call characteristics of living things. That is there are some characteristics, features that you see in a substance or in a particular thing that will make you to classify them as a living thing, which is Mr. Niger Card. It's an acronym, Mr. Hemar Niger, NIGER CAD, Mr. Niger Card. So check our below videos and you're going to see them. Thank you once again. Please hit the subscribe button down there. Hit it and assist for the like and share. Like and share if you want to know more about biology. We are starting from the basics. So today we are advancing to what we call classifying organisms. Yes, classifying organisms, and why and how do we classify the living things? Yes, how and why do we need to classify them? First and foremost, we'll be taking a look at the slides, and let's check. This one is a classifying organism, how and why. we need to classify organisms. So today we'll be focusing on classification, role of classification, tools for classifying organisms, benefits of classification, also drawbacks of classification. So we'll be taking a look at each of them. Let's look at the next slide. So now let's take a look at this picture you're seeing on your screen. Did you know that horseshoe crabs and spiders, they are related? Did you know that? Yeah. You may be wondering, look at that picture on your screen. Look at that horseshoe crabs. Do you see this? Do you see the way can you see similarities? Can you see those tentacles, those legs? Can you see them? Yes, they look alike. So horseshoe crabs are classified in a subphylum called Chelicerata, and this class called Chelicerata subphylum includes spiders and scorpions. Yes, so they are in the same subphylum. Can you just imagine that? So now we'll be taking a look at all these features, and by the end of this video, by the end of this class today, you should be able to define what classification is. You should be able to know and be able to outline the reasons why we need to classify living things. Yes, living things are so wide, they are so numerous, they are so wide enough, ranging from just the normal flies that we see, insects, cockroaches, spiders, to ruminant animals, sheep, even squirrels, grass cutters, rabbits, to goats, sheep, even to our carnivorous animals, lion, tiger, snakes, and omnivorous animal like we, an animal that eats both plant and animal. Yes, now so you should be able to outline reasons why we classify this whole wide of living things. Now, also at the end of this video today, you should be able to describe a dichotomous key. You should be able to know what a dichotomous key is. Also, you should be able to list the benefits and also the drawbacks, that is the disadvantages of classification. So by the end of this video today, you should be able to outline all these detailed things on this outline. All right, so let's look at the next slide. So today, first, we'll be talking about what is classification. Yes, what is classification is? It is a process of grouping organisms based on shared characteristics. Look at that word, shared characteristics. Now, take for instance, like I said earlier, take a look at squirrels. Yes, and grass cutters. So they might be similar and they might be different. Squirrels live on trees, while grass cutters live in burrows in the soil. But they are both herbivorous. They eat animal. They eat grasses. They eat plants. Do you understand? So just because of that shared characteristic, because they eat grasses, they eat plants, and meanwhile they are still both vertebrate. That is, they have backbones. Yes. And squirrels and grass cutter, they give birth to their young ones. So there are some characteristics that make them to be similar. So for these characteristics that they have in common, we'll say that they belong. We can categorize them, we can classify them into the same group. Yes. So now let's read further. For example, yeast and mushrooms are classified as fungi. Why? Because they are both immobile and they lack chlorophyll. Immobile means they cannot move. Yes, they can't move from one place to another. They can't bend. They are immobile. They are static. And at the same time, they lack chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is that green pigment that you see in green plants. Yes, it's a beauty. That's more or less the color. Yes, green. So these two plants, mushroom and this particular yeast, they don't have chlorophyll, so we classify them because of their shared characteristics. I hope we understand. Yes, please, at this junction, please hit the like button, click the subscribe button, please, like and share. Thank you. Now let's move on. Yes, So let's check the next slide. So now, what is the role of classification? What do you think is the role of classification? Classification of living things allow us to do the following. Number one, organize and categorize species based on shared characteristics. What do you mean by species? Species is the family an organism belongs to. Yes, the individual. When I say organism, please always remember I mean plants and animals. So when I say organism, I mean a living thing. When I say living thing, I mean a plant and an animal. I hope you understand. So if I say species, if I say organism, I can be relating to animal, I can be relating to plant. So it's make us to organize and categorize species, make us to identify organisms based on standard characteristics. Yes. Another one says its role of classification allows us to provide a universal system of communication and information exchange. Yes, it provides a universal system, a kind of mass system, a global system of communication. And there is something we call a binary. And all thanks to scientists, they gave us a binary from the word. It's not really binary, a binomial nomenclature. There's something we call binomial nomenclature. Yes, it simply means it's a system of giving names to organisms. And the word by anywhere means two. So giving system of giving two names to each organisms. That's why you see man, you call man Homo sapiens. Yes, we call plants two names too. That's why you call rice Oriza sativa. You understand? We call okra Mukuna Mukuna. So this thing, all organism has a kind of rule of classification. So the rule of classification gives us a universal, a global system of naming organisms, and it helps for communication and information exchange, just like binomial nomenclature. Yes, we'll get there. Then rule of communication also is telling us about, it reveals evolutionary relationship and common ancestry. This one is trying to tell us that where we, from the evolutionary trend, where we emanated from, our origin, make us to be able to trace our origin to our ancestors. Then also classification of living things allow us to help with scientific research and conservation of efforts and studies of biodiversity. This is trying to tell us that it help with scientific research and conservation. It's conserve your energy, so to go through a rigorous stress naming organisms. No. And also studying biodiversity, that is, biological diversity is so much. So it helps with that. So let's move on to the next slide. So please, let's take a look at this picture. Yes, take a look at this picture. Very, very calm. Look at the word sponges. I wish you can see my screen. Yes, see sponges from the list. Sponges, we see this in seas, jellyfish in water itself, mollusks. Mollusks are organisms like snake, they have shell, snakes, and I said snakes, sorry, like snails. Then let's check the snails. They are the ones that have shell. They have, most of them has exoskeleton. Let's check about insects like spider, like cockroaches. They have exoskeleton. That is, their skeletons are outside. We have millipedes. Yes, look at that rings. Those rings. Then the crustaceans like crab, prawns, and so on. They are all called mollusks, such organisms. So we classify all these animals I just mentioned under mollusks. Then look at starfish. They are vertebrate animals. Starfish, even fish itself, amphibians. Amphibians now can classify to another way entirely, another route entirely, because they are animals adapted for living inside water. Yes, they live in water and breed on land. Amphibians. Then we have a lot of them like that. Marsupials, that's animal with hair. We have the chimpanzee, human, whales, cows, and so on. Then some organisms has two skull openings, like crocodile, like birds, also like iguanas, lizard, and so on. So let's quickly check this tree very well. We'll call this tree a tree of relatedness. Yes, they are related. I just mentioned all of them there. The expand this tree of relatedness, also known as evolutionary tree, yes, or the sorry about that, the phylogenetic tree, which pairing or organism surprises you the most? Yes, on this place, on this old tree, this evolutionary tree, which one surprises you? Which one shocked you that, oh, is it supposed to be here? So while you are ruminating, I can drop your comments in the comment section. Yes, you can put your comments there, please. Okay, let's check the next slide. Okay, now there's a question that comes out: how do we classify living things? How do you think we are classifying living things? There's something we call a dichotomous key. This is a tool. Don't forget I mentioned something we call binomial nomenclature. Yes, I'm still coming back to that. A dichotomous key is a tool scientists use to classify organisms, which they find around the field. It consists of a consecutive set of questions to which the answers are either a yes or no. The questions are asked are based on a series of contrasting characteristics. Now, at this junction, at this point, look at the tree that we have here. So, the dichotomous key is more or less a kind of system that bring about questions, and the questions are easily answered by yes or no. I hope we understand. It's easily answered by yes or no. So at this junction, kindly permit me, give me a minute, please. Okay. So here we're talking about dichotomous key. Okay, so we're talking about dichotomous key here. So now dichotomous key is a tool. uh, so dichotomous key is more or less a system that characterizes on asking two major questions, or just a question that has two answers: yes or no. Now let's take a look at this question here that we're going to use. Okay, so now we are going to look at animals called vertebrates. the animals called vertebrate animals. Now, the first question that come using the Kotomas key is, now, is this vertebrate animal, does it lay eggs? That's a question. Yes or no? So if it lays egg, it goes to your right. If it doesn't lay egg, you fix as right. And so yes, the right angle side. Then if it lays egg, it comes to your left hand side here. So now let's take a look at that left hand side. Now, yes, these animals, this vertebrate animal that is laying egg, now we'll go again with another dichotomous question. Does it have feathers? No. Yes. So if it has, we indicate it there. See, now we have feathers. Now, does it have scales? That's another dichotomous question. So it's more or less a yes and no classifying organisms. Does it have four? Yes. No. We'll classify them again. The one that asks you, does it have shell? No. Yes. It's more or less, that's how the dichotomous system of classifying organism, that's how it works. I hope you understand. All right, let's move to the next slide. So that's about that for this slide. So now, what are the benefits of classification? Here are some advantages of grouping animals. Number one, it enhances our understanding and biodiversities, that it makes us to understand well. Then also it enables people from around the world to communicate effectively about living things. Yes, like I was talking about man today, Homo sapiens. Nowhere in the world that does not recognize that name as for man as man's name. When I say man, I mean human being. Yes, Homo sapiens everywhere in the world. Yes, sweet orange, we call it Citrus sinensis. Citrus sinensis everywhere in the world. Do we understand? Pawpaw, we call it Carica papaya. Carica papaya. So everywhere in the world, this system of naming organisms and plants is a very reasonable, and it makes us to understand a wide range of information and easy identification. Do we understand? So also it allows us to identify new species in remote habitat. By the time you are seeing a different species of Carica papaya or citrus SPP, that is citrus species, because orange has several species, but the sweet orange we normally take and eat is Citrus sinensis, like tangerine, like tangelo, like lemon. All of them are citrus. They are oranges in different species. Do we understand? So it makes us to understand names wherever they are. We'll be able to identify and identify these animals. So that's all about that. Also, benefit of classification, it allows us to name organisms that we are not sure about. By the time you see the features, you see the characteristics as the shared characteristics, be able to identify, oh, this is a vertebrate, this is an invertebrate animal. So let's move on. It assists us in ecological studies and species conservation. I think I talked about that species. That's true. So let's check the next slide. So what are anything that has advantages must surely have setback, must have disadvantages. So now, what are the disadvantages of classification? Grouping organism also has its disadvantages. Here are a few of them. Number one, sometimes challenging due to complex scenarios or evolving organisms. It can be very subjective and inconsistent. Then physically similar organisms may not be related genetically. Even when you look at all these animals that they look alike, they have the same features. Genetically, they may not have any similarities. They may be different. Do we understand? Some organisms may also have characteristics that don't fit neatly into existing category. Yes, some organisms may not even fit in at all. That's about that. Okay, let's move on. So another slide says there's a picture that I'm going to show you in the next slide. Now I want you to guess the creature. guess this particular creature. So this can you guess this mysterious creature given the following character? I'm giving you these characteristics and you have to guess the name of this animal. Now its body and head are similar to a mouse. It has powerful legs and jumps can be compared to a kangaroo. Yes, it can jump like a kangaroo. It has barely visible front legs similar to a prairie dog. What do you think it is? What kind of animal do you think it is? Can you guess it? Yes, I think I guess you can guess it. So please drop the guess in my DM. Yes, check. You can drop it in the comment section as well. You can drop it in the comment section as well. Let's look at what the animal is. Are you ready? Are you ready? You want to see the animal? Okay, let's see. Yeah, do we see it? This animal is called a gabion. Yes, this same animal is neither a mouse, a squirrel, is neither a rabbit, nor tiny kangaroo. It's not a cat, it's not a lemur, and it's not a prairie dog. It's a gabion. Though although it exhibits typical characteristics of each of those animals that we mentioned. It has characteristics of a mouse, of a squirrel, of a rabbit, of a tiny kangaroo, also of a cat, of a lemon, and of that a prairie dog. But then it's none of them. It's a gabion. Do we understand? So classification of animals sometimes can be very tedious, a hell of a work. Let's see the next slide. So recap on what we've done so far. We've been able to know what classification is. It is the process of grouping organisms based on shared characteristics. Why do we need to classify? We can better understand the diversity of life on Earth today when we group these animals. Then how can we do that? We can identify several species with careful observation and the help of tools like dichotomous keys. Yes. So that's about that. That's about this slide. So let's see. Don't let us forget this next slide is saying dichotomous key for extraterrestrials. Conduct some research. This is more or less like an assignment. Yes, conduct some research on 6 living things in your choice in your area. Yes, ideally from your backyard or local neighborhood. Create your own dichotomous key to help an extraterrestrial identify organisms if they visit us from other galaxies. So the question here is more or less an assignment for you guys. Just do a survey, do a kind of research, you create your own dichotomous key. You can make it a tree like that. I told us a tree like that, or just take your research in your neighborhood. Make research on 6 living things there. Yes, of your choice. So that's that about that. Thank you for this class. I hope you understand better. Then in the next class, we'll be diving in to a more simpler and more understanding classification of organisms. Yes, we'll be able to do that next video. Please subscribe. Help me, help AY. This is AY. Help me. Click the like, click the share button, subscribe to these YouTube channels. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful time having you around. Yes. So let's check what we have in the next slide. Is there something else? No. That's the hand. Yes. Thank you very much. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Don't forget I said I'll be changing this channel's name to another thing. I'll be changing the logo. I'll be changing the name. Yes, please assist to like and share. I'll be changing it to something we call Simplified Biology. It's going to be based on biology. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye for now. Thank you.